Hi, I'm Kate and welcome back to my channel. This is a vlog and it's for the Magical Readathon Novice Path that was created by G from Book Roast. And of course, I'll leave her original video, her announcement video, down in the description. And this is just me reading my TBR that I wanted to read that went along with the prompts for this readathon. Yeah, you'll find my original TBR down in the description as well, so that if you would like to watch that, you totally can. Or you can just be surprised as you're watching the video. Grab a cup of coffee or tea or hot chocolate and enjoy. Hello. So I think I'm going to start with The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. I have it currently on my e-reader. I'm going to begin reading it and probably, I don't know, I don't think I'm gonna update you. All right, see you later. Hello, it's been a hot minute since we've talked and I only have one day left with The Vanishing Half. As it expires, I got it from my library, it expires today. So hopefully I will be finishing it tomorrow. I'm halfway through, so wish me luck. Hello. So I finished The Vanishing Half a few hours ago now, and I really liked it. It is the next day. It is very late in the evening. So Vanishing Half, I was so wrong about synopsis with the TBR. I was very wrong about the synopsis. The girls disappeared. They weren't taken. They did go their separate ways, but they ended up disappearing from the town, and it was because they ran away from the town. Yeah. And so I thought that was an interesting way to frame the narrative of this book. I loved the four women's perspectives, and I loved the little interspersed, little perspectives throughout the book. We get their mom at one point, and her point of view. We get Early's point of view. It's a mix of plot and character, but it leans heavily on character, which I loved, and going through the characters' lives. And it wasn't in an order. The memories came as the women remembered things, so this is not in chronological order of events happening. The years are, but the flashbacks, there are many flashbacks to events, and they're not all in the same order, so you get the story as the women remember the story. So memory plays a huge role in this novel, which I loved, and I love seeing that in books. It doesn't need to be chronological for me. It really feel like a more human experience. It's nice. I like it. I gotta say that Jude's characterization was my favorite. I liked Desiree. Stella, I didn't quite like, but I still liked her as a character. I liked her as a character as in I valued her experience as a person. Even if I disagreed with her choices and how she went about things, I still enjoyed reading from her perspective because it was different and so nuanced. And then Kennedy, I felt a little bad reading Kennedy's perspective. It's all about intergenerational, not trauma in this kind of trauma in this case, but more how parents influence their children. And even in the smallest ways, Kennedy never really trusts her mom, so she doesn't trust other people as much. It's really good. I really liked it. I chose this book for the prompt. A 5-star prediction, but I will put it here for you to check it out. 5-star prediction. I don't know. Because while I really loved the characterization and I loved the storytelling, it was so good. I don't think I have any major complaints. Plot and character really are what make a book for me. The writing was beautiful. The ending I was kind of confused about. I don't quite understand with the rest of the book. It's about how the river always knows its path, and they are trying to forget. They go in to forget. And I'm still trying to figure out what that means for the rest of the book. Maybe it doesn't have to mean anything, but there was a lot of great representation. Like, I loved Reese so much too. It doesn't end in a way that you expect, and I liked that. Okay, you know what? This 5-star prediction was spot on. 5 stars for this book. Now that I've kind of given you a little review for that, prompt 1, not the first one, but one of the prompts has been completed. Now on to the next book. And the next book I'm going to try to complete is a book that I've been anticipating for a while. It's a book that's at like the kind of the top of my TBR, and that is The Traveling Cat Chronicles, which is a lovely physical copy right here. I don't want to have the cover on because I dislike wrecking pretty dust cover jackets, so that's why it's off right now. Anyways, I'm gonna cozy up and read this, and I will let you know how it goes. This book makes me wish I owned a pet and wish I were traveling right now. 2 things that I really want desperately at the same time in this lovely little book. Hi, hello. So, it's been a few days, but I have finished The Traveling Cat Chronicles by Hiro Arikawa, and it was really good. I cried. If you don't know, this novel is about from the perspective of a cat, about his life with his owner, but also them visiting various friends of the owner for a reason the cat doesn't know yet. So this is told from the perspective of the cat, but it's also told from the perspective of the friends that the main character. It's told from the perspective of his friends and like their relationship with him, as well as the cat and the cat's relationship with him. And you kind of see the cat's thoughts on the different people that they meet, as well as how Satoru has like made an impact on the friends' lives. And I'm not gonna say anything more because anything else would be, I think, a little bit of a spoiler. So I didn't realize that we were gonna be seeing from friends' perspectives as well. So that was a little bit, threw me off a little bit, but whatever, it's fine. I liked this book. The one relationship that I really enjoyed was Satoru's relationship with his aunt. And that was very impactful for me and showed me a little bit more depth in like a woman character, which I appreciated. And you'll see that. I don't want to spoil when that's going to happen, but yes, that's something that you will see. And I really appreciated. I loved the sarcastic voice of the cat. Very funny. I feel like this is a very sentimental and romanticized novel about like the mind of a cat, but also like the journey of this pet lover and his cat. I think it's very sentimental, and sentimental is not really my thing. That's kind of why I don't think I liked the Before the Coffee Gets Cold. I didn't love that. So I think that is why this wasn't like the biggest hit for me, but I did cry. It made me cry, and I really appreciated that. I loved the themes that I saw in here. of like, it wasn't identity this time. It was more like what makes a person, what is the value of people, I guess, in life, what do relationships mean to different people, and I really liked that. Also, this is just a cat lover book, as well as an animal lover for sure, which I appreciated. One thing I didn't expect, though, was how much I would miss traveling while reading this novel. I really felt like what gripped me was their adventures together, and Arakawa goes into a bunch of really good detail of where they travel to and the landscape, and it made me wish that I were traveling. So I really appreciated that aspect of this novel, the adventure aspect. So if you're looking for an adventurous, sentimental novel, this is a good one to pick up. This is the Ash Torn Tree prompt that I fulfilled for this by reading this book, and that was read a book that's been tempting you or as at the top of your TBR, and I did, and I recommend it for those cat lovers and those animal lovers out there. So awesome. 1 book down, I guess 2 books down, and 3 more to go. I've started reading Radio Silence by Alice Osman, and I started reading this like 2 days ago or something like that, yesterday. Anyways, and we'll see how this goes. This is for, The Mists of Solitude. Read a standalone novel, and that is currently what I am doing. As you can see, I am quite a large chunk of the way into it, like 1/3 or something like that. And I love the voice so far, and the chapters are super short, which is nice. And so, yeah. All right, on to reading. Hello, it's been a while. I just came back from work, that's why I'm all dressed up nicely. I finished Radio Silence by Alice Oseman and really liked it. I loved seeing the diversity, and I enjoyed all of the characters I came across in here, except for Kathy. Kathy can die, actually. Parents need to be better to their kids is kind of what this taught me. I loved the friendship between Aled and our main character, Francis. I thought they were a really sweet friendship and like an ideal friendship. I really valued seeing that in this book. The romantic relationships, like there was like minimal, and I really liked that too. It's been a while since I've read a friendship-centered novel, especially a young adult novel, so I really appreciated seeing that here. The plot was really well done. I think this would have been really a much better experience for me, at least, listening to this with audiobook, because I was not very attached to their like world. I understand like fandom worlds, like because I've been attached to fandoms in my life, and so I understood that like desire and need, and like sometimes how the fandom can be like really toxic. But oh yeah, I guess I should explain what this is about. This is about Francis, and Francis is a study machine. Francis believes that the way to be happy is to get good grades, get into a good university, get a good job, and then like that'll all lead to happiness. But she really loves this podcast on YouTube called Universe City, and through there she meets a lad and kind of discovers some things about herself that she didn't know before. And man, I really liked this book. I don't think I loved it as much as everybody else did. I think contemporary is not my favorite, but this was like one of the best contemporaries, like young adult novels I've read in a really long time. So I really appreciated that. I'm a Canadian, so it doesn't hit me the same way. I know in the US and in the UK, it hits like way more, I think, because you have the Ivy League school in the UK and in the US. Canada doesn't really have that. I've never felt that desire. I've never been in a study machine. We aren't as pressured, I don't think, especially where I'm from. And I came from a small town as well. We're not as pressured to go to university, I guess. we're not academically pressured, which is our downfall for sure, in some ways. But in other ways, it relieves us a little bit of that that perfect path to get that perfect job, which is nice. And so I didn't really feel a lot of the pressure. I mean, I did, because like there is a pressure to get into university, but I didn't feel as immense a pressure as I imagine like UK and US citizens would and readers would, which is fine. I still loved this, and I could relate to it in its own ways. Fandom wise, like I was a 2013 Tumblr user, and you find those fandoms, you learn a lot about like genders and like sexuality, and I love that. I loved that for Tumblr, but at the same time, it could be a toxic culture as well, depending on what fandoms you were part of. And so I loved reliving that kind of in this book. I'm interested to see what other novels and what other paths that Alice Oseman goes on. So I'm going to check out her other books. But this one I liked. It was good. I had a fun time. I loved the friendship so much. And the drama. Man, that drama was so realistic. I felt it. It made me cry. I was like, oh no. No, no. And it's just so real. I read this book for the Magical Readathon prompt, Mists of Solitude. For my next path, I am going to either read Other Words for Home by Jasmine Warga, or Normal People by Sally Rooney. And I need to choose between them. This is for the one prompt for Magical Readathon that is, I don't remember the title, but I do remember that it is read a book with a school setting. And I think that's the Aurelium arc, academic arc. Anyways, so I'm going to read one of these two. You'll figure it out. I'll tell you later. I haven't made a decision yet. 3 books down, 2 more books to go. And then I'm currently listening to The Little Paris Bookshop on audiobook by Nina George, and it has been a really good time. I really enjoyed it. So I'm going to choose between Other Words for Home and Normal People, and I will get back to you in another segment of this video. All right, bye. So there are 3 days left of this Magical Readathon, and I chose the longest book of the 2, so Normal People by Sally Rooney. I don't know why, so I'm reading that. I'm finishing up that audiobook. I think I have 3 hours left, so I'm gonna go for a walk at some point this week, just get it done. And then, yeah, I'll update you on how I feel about Normal People. I've already started a little bit of it. So far, Lorraine is the best. I really like that Sally Rooney draws attention to, like, men hurting women. When Alan grabs Marianne's arm, it's not just the action, it's followed by Sally Rooney saying that he was hurting her. And I noticed that a lot of authors don't do that. And so I really appreciate the humanization of women, I guess. We get to see that, oh, of course that would hurt her. How could we? It just makes her feel more real that, oh, right, you are a person. And those are the feelings that come about when somebody hurts another person. Those are the consequences to the actions of others, and especially apparently men in this novels. I really appreciate it. Anyways, let me continue reading, and hopefully I'll finish this book today, because I think it's my only day off. Yeah, okay, bye. I just want to say that I am a Hufflepuff. However, my brother got me this really nice mug that says Gryffindor on it for Christmas a few years ago. So I do use it, and I still love it a lot. Hi. Okay, so today is September 30th. Today's the last day for the Magical Readathon, and I'm gonna try my best to finish Normal People by Sally Rooney, but today's also our National Observation Day for Truth and Reconciliation here in Canada, and so I'm going to be taking part in some events that are going on within my city, which means that I probably won't be reading today, but maybe I will. Who knows? You'll be the first to know. So yeah, good luck to me. Did complete the 2-book requirement for the Novice Path, so I'm pretty happy with that. Just wanted to complete this book before next month begins, so that I can start my spooky reads. All right, update done. Now on to events. Okay, now now it's the end of the blog, and I left you on a cliffhanger. I guess continue drinking your tea, and I guess I'll tell you about each of the books I read. So the first book I read for this readathon was Vanishing Half, and I feel like I've explained my thoughts on that pretty well. I enjoyed the characterization a lot. The characters were actually really great and like detailed and well done, and I loved the intertwining of their stories. That was really cool. And I did decide, because that was my like 5-star prediction, that I would give that 5 stars because it deserves it. I think I'm more excited for her other book, The Mothers, and those conversations, even though I really liked the conversation we had in The Vanishing Half about colorism in the Black community. But I think I'm a bit more curious about how she'll tackle pregnancy and abortion in The Mothers. So I'm excited for that. And then I have it here on my shelf, The Traveling Cat Chronicles by Hiro Arikawa. And this was a sentimental journey, and I've already explained what it's about earlier in this vlog. I liked it. It made me cry, don't get me wrong. And I didn't mind the storytelling. We only saw from the cat's perspective as well as his friends. I don't know, it doesn't hit me the same way I think it hits other people. Not because I'm not an animal lover, it's just because the way he told the story is very simplified, I think. And I don't really like that. It's not a very complex novel. We handled some complex topics, but I don't think that this was my cup of tea, even though I'm still rating it 3 stars. Oh, and I read The Traveling Cat Chronicles for, oh gosh, it's been so long. Oh gosh, read a book that's at the top of your TBR, or read your most anticipated book. Not my cup of tea, but I'm glad I got to it because I was hearing some really good things about it. And I do recommend it if you are an animal lover, you love adventure, which I did love that aspect in this book, and you kind of like a sentimental journey. The next book I read after this was Radio Silence by Alice Oseman, and you heard my thoughts. I also I liked it a lot. I just didn't feel like I was a part of the hype. I was a Tumblr user back in like 2013, well, maybe not 2018, but kind of around the time that this novel is set. And yeah, I kind of got the hype of why other people would love it so much, and I really liked it. So I'm still rating it like 4 stars because it was well done, and it was so refreshing not having to read like a romantic novel and more platonic friendships, which was so wonderful. I think I was thinking about it more, and I don't like the ending. I think that I wanted to know more about what happens to Alad and Aled. I'm sorry if I'm saying his name wrong. And Francis. And I assume they're doing well because they go to the conference, but I think I was more interested in their personal lives rather than their fame. I guess I know that she was kind of, I think, maybe wanting to like reconnect it to where it all started with the Universe City podcast on YouTube. But to me, I kind of wanted to see just their friendship. And you kind of see their friendship, but I mean, like, what happens to them after everything occurs? What is their relationship with other people that they've made connections with in the novel? What happens with Aled's mom? And I don't even remember her. Oh, I do now. Carol. And it's just like Karen. Carol and Aled, and that dynamic there, and what happened after she left on the train and he stayed behind. I kind of wanted to know those relationships more than what happened to Universe City, even though it was the start of it all. Yeah, it was really good though. I really liked it. In a different vein from Radio Silence, I did end up finishing, spoiler alert, I ended up finishing Normal People by Sally Rooney right on the 30th. September 30th. So I was doing this throughout the month. Normal People by Sally Rooney follows two students at the time, and that is Connell and Marianne. They're both from Ireland. They're in their last year of high school, and they start to, I guess, hook up. And it's just about the relationship throughout that high school, as well as university, because they go to the same university, and how it changes when they meet different people, how the dynamics change when we see different aspects of themselves that they're exploring come out, and just like their traumas, I guess. This book made me realize how neurodivergent I was, because a lot of things that were mentioned in this book are things I don't know or to notice in day-to-day life. Like, one example is Connell blushing quite a bit, and I just don't notice that, and I don't think a lot of authors that I read about include that in there. Like, she includes so much she makes sure to include physical responses to whatever's being said, what actions are being done. And I think that was really unique to see that, because I don't think I've read that in a long time. I think we get a lot of really like quick reactionary, like he said this back, she said that, instead of just like focusing on the bodily. And I know I mentioned this in my vlog, like how the actions of Marianne's brother Alan hurt her, and Sally Rooney was sure to like include like, yeah, Marianne was hurt. So I thought that was really spectacular. I liked the themes that they covered, and like the conversations they had, not out loud, but like in their heads, about like mental health and mental well-being, like the state of the world. I really liked it towards the end when Connell is talking about English majors, and like how some people use the books that they read as a form of like education, or to show how educated they are and how elite and superior they are to the uneducated. And like, that was a really interesting point of view, and I like that. Meta, very cool, as a past English major myself. So I think what I didn't like about this book, well, her writing is beautiful. I can't attest that. I think it is, she includes a lot, and some of it went over my head, I'm not gonna lie, but for the most part, I think that I got it. Yeah, she handled her themes really well. I just think but I know it's not the point, and I think actually the point is that we are not supposed to love Connell or Marianne, but at the same time we are, because they're both so human, and they think that they can't find love because of their traumas and their mental health issues. And I kind of liked what she was saying about how finding that it truly is a love story about finding that one person who still brings you joy after so much pain, I guess, and who sees you as that innocent, who doesn't see you as damaged. I don't like that word, so it's weird that she used this in here. I was like, oh, okay, I don't use that word either. I don't even know, when was this book written? Oh, like 2018, but it's like the setting is 2011 to 2015, so yeah. So you're not supposed to like or necessarily love Connell or Marianne, and I got that. But I do think I like rooting for my characters, and I did root for these two because they were going through the roughest time, and they both felt like they didn't deserve each other's love or the love of other people. Oh, Lorraine was pure through it all. I loved her. I just loved her so much. Lorraine was my favorite character. we didn't see Lorraine half as much. Anyways, yeah, this book was about relationships, and it was a cool exploration of relationships and how they affect us as people. I just, sometimes it went just a little bit beyond me, and I was a little like exasperated with like the main characters. I was like, you obviously like each other. Why are you doing this to yourselves? And it's because they don't like themselves. I understand, like, I get it. It's just sometimes I'm like, oh my god, why am I reading this? So yeah, I read this book. Maybe 3 stars, maybe 4. I gotta think about it a bit more because it hits home, but it doesn't hit me the same way I think it hits a lot of other people in the book community and just like within like the entire world. And maybe I'll try out her other books because I do love Sally Rooney's writing quite a bit. And you know, Connell and Marianne were good characters that I liked a lot. They just thought things that I just was like, yes. This is your reminder to drink some tea, coffee, hot chocolate, whatever you have in your cup this morning, this afternoon, whenever you're watching this. So that is the last of the books I read. I read Normal People for Read a Book Within a School Setting. That's Aurelium Arc, I think. This is the end. Today is October 1st, and so the Magical Readathon is officially over for September. I read 4 books for the Novice Path. I passed, and she has included like a choices section that kind of decides your guild and like your character, more of your character. But I think I'm just not going to include that, and you're going to be surprised. Or I'll include that at the beginning or end of my my character video, which I hope to be coming out soon. A lot of them are spooky books, and so you'll be seeing that one soon. I loved taking part in the Magical Readathon. I had fun. Thanks to G from Book Roast for being amazing and spending so much time and effort on this. It's truly going to be such a wonderful and like very adventurous experience, like very immersive. I'm really just so excited to continue this journey that we're on with the Magical Readathon. And yeah, that's the end of this vlog. Thank you for watching. Like if you like it. Subscribe if you want to. All good. Stay safe. Have a good rest of your day. Peace out.